I'm Mark Dresner, and this is Research TV, brought to you by the Market Research Event, the largest and most comprehensive conference in the world dedicated to increasing the business value of insights.
Joining me today are Inderpal Bhandari, who is the Chief Data Officer and VP of Knowledge Solutions for Express Scripts, and Debjani, she is the Managing Partner of EmPower Research. Welcome to the program, folks.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
How is Express Scripts using big data at this stage?
Well, you can think of big data, Mark, as the advent of the social media data that's now becoming available, which previously never used to exist. What that allows companies to do is to get a window into the mind of their key stakeholders. In our case, it could be our physicians, who service our patients, our clients, and so forth. So, but basically what is now enabled is that you can look at the data as it unfolds in social media. So as people are sharing their feelings, you can try to understand what their sentiment is around certain key entities that have business value for you. So, I mean, a simple example that one can think of is if you have a retailer with a number of brand name products, they can now get real-time intelligence on how people are thinking about those products. And as a result of that, they can, for instance, inform their pricing strategies appropriately and in a very timely fashion, as opposed to traditionally, they would be at least 2-3 months out of date if they did like a market research survey.
The social part we can gather from various listening posts, aggregator tools, etc. The challenge that faces the company is how do you take that high volume, very fast growing data and marry it to internal repositories such as in a call center, in a survey bank, in a focus group, and all of that, because all of them are trying to tell the same story, and one needs to be able to reconcile that story across all those data banks for each of the touch points. And that's what we are talking about. The way to do it is it's twofold. You have to use technology where it belongs, and then you have to take it the last extra mile using human analytics, because today technology perhaps can take us 65% of the way there, text mining, natural language processing, various things, after which you have to have human beings draw the insights of what does it really mean. So that's where we are. I think over time, this will get better. I think technology will take larger leap steps on this because it is a burning problem for corporations.
Yes.
And therefore, a lot of attention is focused on this. And I think over the next few years, we will see highly automated systems that will enable the agile decision making that companies like Express Scripts will be looking for.
And then there's the issue of pulling all this together.
Right.
And in some cases, the example I'd used earlier about the retail brands, if they're well known, it should be pretty easy to pull them together. But when you're trying to, for instance, actually relate information about different people who are using perhaps different handles in social media versus the corporate space, it raises all kinds of issues. It raises privacy issues, legal issues, ethical issues. So you need the human component to weigh that and to figure out exactly what is the right thing to do.
What are some of the big ahas or lessons learned that you've experienced at this point?
You have to participate. You can't really be left out just because it's opening up a whole vista which hitherto we never had access to. And to the extent that you can relate that back to your business. And so I gave that example of the retail brand and the pricing strategy. I mean, if you think of it in those terms, if you're able to inform your pricing strategy in real time and your competitor is not, you're going to be at a decided advantage to be able to do it. So you have to participate. I mean, that I think is the biggest takeaway. And the challenge is being able to identify where exactly in your business it's going to have an impact so that you get the return on investment.
In the consumer goods industry, big data is not new. We used to call it Teradata. There are lots and lots. I mean, the entire value chain is full of players that are supplying tools, analytics, and so on. What's new here is the social aspects, the mobile aspects that Inderpal was referring to. That's growing faster than everything that grew in the last 10 years combined in matter of months, because social just enables everybody to have an opinion, and everybody's expressing an opinion, and big data is growing. So my answer to your question then is that in the consumer goods industry, from the supply chain perspective, etc., we have very sophisticated solutions in place that enable agile decision making. It is taking that next step in adding qualitative and unstructured data to the big data puzzle that is evolving now. And it is an imperative, as Inderpal mentioned, to most companies to enable that. And I think in pockets you see good solutions. I think folks are focusing in on customer service. The financial industry is huge. So the folks that really think they have the highest ROI, the quickest way, have progress. So it's a industry in evolution. And I think we have still ways to go in being able to bring together the social and the unstructured part to the pie and have the answer. It'll take a little bit of time.
Well, thank you both for sharing some terrific insights on the big opportunity in big data. I really appreciate you joining us today.
Thank you very much.
On that note, that concludes this episode of Research TV. I'm Mark Dresner, and you just heard the Insight Scoop.